Welcome back to TV Anthology Reviews. We are doing episode 13 through 15 of season 1 of Monsters. First episode, 13, Glim Glim. The episode starts with the father and his young daughter sneaking into the basement of a library. They, along with one other man, are the only surviving people in town. You see, an alien crash landed and immediately threw up a force field around the town, sealing everyone in. Quickly, a disease started killing off the townsfolk. The last 3 survivors have to stay in the library since it is snowing outside and the library is the only place with electricity and heat. These 3 survivors have natural antibodies from the disease that killed everyone else in town, and are the only chance to save the human race. Unfortunately, the library is also where the terrifying alien lives. You hear him pacing around upstairs, plotting his next move. You want to see this bloodthirsty mass murderer? This non-celestial, horrifying psychotic species from Mars who has killed everyone in town and sealed off the exit? It's a discount Robbie the Robot.
In comparison to myself, you are very ignorant. You are even more stupid than I first computed.
You standing there with your head down and your hands behind your back. You that used to getting arrested?
The 3 survivors have antibodies from the virus Glim Glim accidentally unleashed on the world. But since he is a good alien, he is studying at the library to find a cure using their antibodies and blood. The only one who trusts Glim Glim is a little girl. This episode stands apart by being actually emotional. Once you get past the costume, the way the little girl slowly starts to trust Glim Glim gives parallels to E.T. But this is still a Monsters episode, so when the adults see dead bodies upstairs, they understandably think Glim Glim is evil. The ending is one of the best as it hits the right emotional notes that is missing from a lot of horror anthology shows. I complain about kids in movies because their acting is usually bad, but this little girl does a great job and she seems to have a genuine connection to Glim Glim. She knows he's just a big softie. You actually get used to the silly costume, and since he is a friendly alien, it seems they didn't want him to look too scary. Mission accomplished. It's the 3rd highest rated episode of Season 1, neck and neck with The Match Game, featuring My Girlfriend Ashley Lawrence, and Mannequins of Horror. 9 out of 10.
Daddy, what was that noise?
Amy, you're all right?
I just plugged it in. Glim Glim made it to show us he's our friend.
It's the 24th. Christmas Eve. With all that's happened, we forgot.
Daddy, where's my friend Glim Glim? Daddy, please tell me you didn't hurt him. Daddy, you didn't hurt my friend Glim Glim, did you?
Episode 14, Parents from Space. Cindy is a foster kid for a terribly abusive, super old couple. A caseworker comes by asking about bruises, but is charmed away by the foster mother. Why are they giving 10-year-old foster kids to geriatrics? The casting is whack. It's a sad story, but it's done in an uncomfortable sitcom format, making it even more uneasy. You really feel bad for the girl, and it's hard to tell if this is a dark comedy or they just can't get the tone right. They force her to do chores, yell at her, and when she disobeys, hit her. While the foster father Ward is doing his best Archie Bunker impression, aliens crash land in the garage of the house and take over the horrible foster parents' bodies. The new alien parents end up giving Cindy, a little scare.
I saw their spaceship.
We know. We can't let you go.
After Glim Glim, we have another episode that features nice, kind aliens. The aliens explain they just need to borrow her parents' bodies to fix their spaceship, and once the spaceship is repaired, they will return Cindy's foster parents back to her. But the aliens end up being kind of awesome. They are much nicer, and of course, they let her eat whatever she wants. Maybe Cindy would rather keep the aliens. Unfortunately, after trying to repair the spaceship, they are missing a part and tell Cindy, in true Brady Bunch fashion, that it's wrong to steal a human's body, and they wish to die and give her parents back to her. This is the second episode in a row where a 10-year-old girl has outacted the parents. Have we entered the Twilight Zone? There's a useless caseworker that visits the house twice, and it's hard to tell if this is social commentary, that the state is inadequate at removing kids from clearly abusive situations, or if the caseworker is just aloof and stupid to further the plot. Parents in Space is a rare sci-fi outing for monsters. This anthology show kept a very consistent tone throughout the series, with only a couple episodes diverting into comedy or science fiction. But I'm still bothered by the old foster parents. This seemed to be a trend in the 80s where they would cast older people in roles that should have been played by younger people. This is especially true of Tales from the Dark Side, a series that rarely has young people in it. This isn't the case anymore. Every show has to have a young heartthrob for the girls or guys to fall in love with. At the end of the episode, the aliens tell Cindy some very complicated instructions to switch their bodies back.
My parents?
Would you nix us, please? We'd like to go out together.
No, but I don't want you guys to go. You saved Rosie. Well, I mean, I know you're really giant rats from outer space, and some people might think that's so gross, but they don't know you, and I think you're really nice.
This button will switch all of us back into our own bodies. Now, this red button, this is the Nix button. After we're all into our own bodies, you point the machine at us and press it. You got that?
Got it.
Oh, dear. Wrong button.
It's okay. I better get the dustbuster and clean up this mess.
Oops. She just disintegrated her parents. Don't you love happy endings? I like it. 6 out of 10. It ends on a happy note, with them throwing what looks like a birthday party every day, since the alien parents now spoil Cindy. Every kid's dream. It's a light sci-fi episode, and the second one to feature a little girl as the protagonist. The next episode, The Mother's Instinct, has killer plants and a douchebag boyfriend. No little kids in this one. A rich elderly woman enjoys taking care of her plants. She gets a visit from her daughter and her sleazy husband. Her daughter, Sheila, is played by Finn Carter, who is best known for Tremors. Will there be giant worms in this episode? Tune in to find out. Her husband has overdosed on red pills and is rude, obnoxious, abusive, and trying to steal her mother's money. Probably an Andrew Tate fan. He is eschewing an 80s haircut for a more modern one, so that is good. While Nelson is berating his wife like usual, her mother takes some secret juice that gives her super granny strength.
But now we have a new liquid gold, the secret juice.
Nelson has a great scheme to sell her secret juice. He tries stealing a melon, but they are protected by small worms that bite him. This is a predicament, but Nelson is smart and resourceful. He has Finn Carter by his side, a woman that will make her career off fighting giant sandworms. Let's see how it goes. Seems like it's going pretty bad. Let's see if it gets better. No, I guess not. They need more practice, or Bert from Tremors. Finn Carter might be the only actress in the world to in 1 year tackle 2 worms. She deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Nelson is not a man to give up just because some giant worms bite him. He decides to try again, this time with the knowledge that he just has to get 1 worm into his suitcase. If he can do that, he will be rich. Maybe a downing of the secret juice like Popeye will help. Let's see how it goes. I like how he has makeshift pads on to protect him from when the worms bite.
You're not stealing worms, you idiot. You're taking her children.
Her children.
Don't ever mess with the mother instinct.
Yes, quite. You see, the parallels between the mother's instinct of her protecting her daughter Sheila from her abusive husband Nelson was just like the giant plants. Nelson stole the plant's baby, and so Audrey 3 had to eat him. It's like rain on your wedding day. Isn't it ironic? I'm gonna write a dissertation on this, right after my paper about free will, the self-consequence of capital syndicalism and market-driven AI. But, wow, is Nelson unlikable. This is one thing I like about Monsters, is you don't know if the main character is going to be good, bad, a little girl, an alien. It can be anything. Tales from the Crypt has universally terrible, immoral main characters that get their comeuppance at the end, but it makes for a more predictable show. The Mother Instinct hits on more serious topics than most other episodes, and I've never been more happy to see a man get eaten by a giant plant. 7 out of 10.